Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode on 2.5 Salesmen. I'm your host, Mario, together with my phenomenally looking host, Giulio, who just keeps getting younger for some reason. What are you using these days? Like donkey milk and lavender?
No,
What's going
we
on
already
here?
talked about this. Is Virgin's blood.
Virgin, of course. Of course, it's Virgin's blood. It is. Yes, I know. So, for everyone, we have a very special guest today. This is my good friend and my former boss from RavenDB, David Baruch. David, good to see you, man.
Good to be here, guys. Very good to be here. So, as you said, my name is David.
Welcome.
Thank you. I'm the CRO of RavenDB for the past year and a half. And I came from a background of not actually only software, but as well, plenty years in hardware. So I am quite versatile.
Cool. Today's topic will touch on the CRO side. So for those of you who don't know, CRO meaning Chief Revenue Officer, basically a person who runs the entire revenue team and revenue operations. So sales, marketing, client success, and ops. And yeah, David has a lot of experience here. And what we will talk about is basically the traits of good, bad, and of course, great CRO such as David. So maybe, David, I'll give you the floor first. So what would you say is so if someone wants to kind of transition into a CRO role, right? Either from marketing or sales, we rarely see this from client success, right? So what are the like number 1, 2, or 3 traits or abilities or skills that they definitely should be working on?
For me, okay, and again, I'm speaking only on my base.
Yeah.
I think that you need to be customer focused. You have to have a customer driven attitude that's giving you the leadership to inspire your team, okay? Having to actually do some crazy things, and I do very crazy things to create as much revenue as I can. So I'm not afraid of that, and I'm not afraid to push my people to be much better than I used to be as a sales guy, okay? Actually, I'm not looking for people that are less than excellent, and be at your best every single day. Actually, today I just sent a post to my team, okay? And the post is a kind of a graph, X, Y axis, and you've got be the best at what you do, best at what you do, best at what you do, best at what you do. Every single day is a different day. You can be up there in one day, you can be down there in another day, as long as you're doing the best. And this is also what I pitch to my kids, okay? I'm not asking you to be 100 in every single score and every single exam, but give the best of what you can do.
Yes.
So if you can give the best of what you can do to your customers, to your team, I believe that by the end of the day, you're getting that back in revenue.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, Julia, go ahead.
I would have a question with this because, like, in my experience, telling people like just be the best you can be, it's quite vague, right? And it can lead to people be like, "Oh, I'm doing my best already," and then you're kind of stuck in a problematic position, right?
So it's a great question that you're asking here, Julio. You need to know where you're going. If you don't have the strategic vision of where you are going and a clear view of what the top of the mountain look like, you will never get there. There is different paths to go to the top of the mountain, and you can choose this path or that path. And for this path, you will need this set of skills, and for that path, you will need a different set of skills. But you have to have the vision. You have to be very clear on the goal. You have to be very clear on the target. And this is what I'm trying always to push. The target is there, okay? The path that we're going to use, as long as we win the target, this is what we want. So if you have the strategic vision of where you want to go, of where you want to be, if you have the sales expertise, if you can actually engage the marketing to work with you, you can be customer centric in order to be, customer satisfaction, customer service, and prove that the value that you bring, then the decision is actually obvious.
One of the issues that I have with as you mentioned, David, be the best you can be, and this is maybe not because you clearly have a very clear image and clear vision what the best version of David looks like. But then how do you like transmit, or how do you imprint this energy and this belief into people that you definitely need to lead? You are in the front, you are carrying the flag, and you are the first one who charges forward, right?
It's not always easy, but you have to be adaptable. Okay, time, change, business constraints, financial instability, cultural things that are happening. You know, a lot of things actually can actually make the plan change, and you have to adapt. But if you cannot collaborate with your team, if you cannot actually explicitly articulate what you need from your team, okay, and where we are going all the time, I'm spending huge amount of time with my team in order to enable them into the right direction. As for me, to be independent is one of the important keys. If you want to be in my team, you cannot work on script. I don't work on script. I don't know how to work on script. This is the strategy. This is the execution plan. Do you want to be on my bus? You get a VIP seat, and you've been on my bus, yes? But
yeah. Julia, any thoughts?
One thing that I would like to clarify, at least this is my personal opinion on the topic, is I actually agree with in a very clear direction. And I think one thing I want to have some clarification on is the simplicity of it. So like, I think there should be, as a high level leader, there should be like 2-3 things max that you're looking to achieve. Because if the target becomes, we got to do these 15 different things, then you're going to end up doing nothing, right? And I think the flexibility and prioritization is what distinguish a good leader. So we'll do these 3 things, but we'll do them really, really well, basically.
So would you agree with this statement? You need to add a solid background into the sales execution and expertise, okay? Because it's super essential that you understand what is the value-based conversation, what is the sales process, what is the methodology that you need to put, the technique that you need to use, okay? Mario, you remember when we spoke about the POC when I joined the company? What did I tell you about the POC? I don't do POC. You know why? My solution is being used by thousands of customers. The concept works, but what I do is POV. I do proof of value. This is what my team is. Listen, sales, let's be honest. We are all been in sales, yes?
Yeah.
This is the toughest work. This is the toughest first job in the world. You know why? When do we start working? When people says to us, no. This is when we start working. Then we have to salvage a deal that is almost lost. And on top of it, we have competition that is betting on us. Come on, guys. You have to be very clever to be a sales guy.
So let's talk about one aspect, and of course, leading teams and leading people, especially from a high up, is as a CRO, you do get to lead individual team members like salespeople and copywriters and content writers and technical teams and stuff like that. But let's touch a little bit on how you manage other executives. Right, because this is not a topic that is talked about a lot, right? So CRO, before we begin recording, I've asked you, do you have your CMO, so Chief Marketing Officer? You said yes, right? So probably at one point, head of sales, head of client success, or head of accounts, or call him or her, whatever you want to call it, right? So how do you talk to me or talk to us a little bit about how do you work with executives, and what if executive struggles?
So, I think that there's a difference between a CMO and between a channel manager and a customer success and a VP of sales, etc. But by the end of the day, I think that, at least for me, again, I'm speaking about myself, I give a lot of freedom to my team. I think that me articulating the direction where we are going, but giving them the freedom of execution and recalibrating or putting calibration or focus or prioritization, as you were saying, Julia, earlier, okay, into what's really counts. This is where actually I'm putting the value. By the end of the day, I'm building relationship with those people, okay? With the CMO, it's interpersonal by the end of the day. There will be time, and actually, it's actually amazing because the CMO that we have here, you know, we always laugh about it. Usually, you know, there is huge fight between sales and CMO, yeah? You don't bring enough leads, you guys don't know how to convert them into them. And then, you know, we're getting into a ring and then we're starting to fight. Here, the level of alignment that we have is actually, I think it's inspiring. It's really inspiring because again, as I told you, there is a clear plan, there is a methodology, there is a process. We understand where we want to be. So everyone is aligned. Now it's just the level of execution. And execution, you can always adapt.
Yeah, yeah. Julia?
I actually thought that you were going to ask a slightly different question, Mario.
All right. Well, shoot it away then.
In the sense
don't be
of
shy, don't be shy.
I'm not in the sense that I think often a bad trait of a CRO is that the CRO thinks is the CEO, right? And because of that, they actually don't have great relationship with other people in the company because it's always like, well, revenue is king, so shut up. Right. So what would be your thoughts on this, David?
I don't want to sound like I'm full of myself, but you know, I'm growing quite well and my numbers are actually lining up, so I'm lucky. So everything goes well, and I never thought myself as a CEO. I don't think that I am the CEO. I'm more looking at myself as the partner of my CEO. Okay. And by the way, this was one of the first things that I said to the CEO when I joined the company. He said, if you and I don't go hand to hand and partnership together and build this relationship together, I will never be able to deliver revenue. I cannot go against you. You have your way, I have my way, but if we don't agree on the way, it will go nowhere. And since then, it's been a partnership. So if you can build a good relationship with your executive, it doesn't matter who it is. By the end of the day,
100%. 100%. 100%. CEO/executive buy-in into the CRO vision or not the buy-in. So not buy-in is probably the number one reason why CROs fail. Because they don't have the and you said the word is alignment. There is no alignment between what CEO wants to do, where the CEO wants to take the company, and what does alignment mean for the CEO? Because at the end of the day, although you see it as a partnership, it is his company and he leads the direction. So you need to be, as you said, partnered up.
But you also have to be, Mario, you also have to be, you know what, here, I'll return to you the question.
Yeah.
That's easy when you only have a private company and a CEO, but what happens when you have a board of directors, when you have investors, etc.? It's starting to make the question much more complex and the success of the CRO much harder to achieve. So let's be honest, you know, I'm in a lucky place, okay? I don't think that, you know, every single CRO out there is having the same room of freedom that I have.
Okay, and let's say now that, let's extrapolate this out of Raven and then figure out, let's say you were hiring for your replacement. All right, let's say either you got promoted or to CEO, you actually became the CEO, or you decided that you're gonna move on, right? So what would be some of the red flags that you would immediately spot in a potential new CRO?
So let's say that if I would be promoted to CEO and I would actually hire my replacement, you know what, I haven't thought about it, but now that you're asking me just on the fly, okay, I would think that first of all, I would look at the person, if he or she can work with me together, again, with the same partnership that I work today with my CEO.
So how would you assess that?
Yeah, exactly.
I think it's relationship building, okay? And we all be in sales, you know, we know how to read people. So
okay,
the problem with interviewing salespeople is that we are very good at selling ourselves.
Exactly.
Very
exactly.
True. Very true.
And let's be honest, salespeople generally are also quite happy when they get compliments, etc. So I would actually say that, having been a recruiter for 9 years, the sales directors are usually the worst people at picking. Like, they are terrible. Oh, this guy was brilliant, blah, 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 blah. After 6 months, yeah, he was actually just a talker. We had to fire him. Right. So,
So, you know what, Julio? I learned my lesson after the guy that is here with you, your partner Mario, decided to resign on me, and I had to hire the replacement to him.
uh-huh.
I had a bad hiring, and the reason that I had a bad hiring is because I was in rush of putting someone in the seat to actually replace him.
Uh-huh.
David,
And
you had a bad hiring because no one is better than me.
I knew it.
I was waiting for it,
Fuck
man.
yeah. Of course, of course.
Well, Mario, you know what? Enjoy. You got it.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
That was a good one, but you know what? In terms of joke level, you actually went down here. You're losing a little bit of points today.
Oh my god. Yeah. Let's I think we're gonna edit this part for the
There
first
will
time.
be no editing.
I actually, you know what, Julio? I'm with Mario on this one. You can't be editing this one.
I'm joking. We don't edit it. We're too
We
lazy
don't
to
edit shit.
So back to your question. So I had a
Yes.
bad hiring last year because I was in rush of replacing Mario, and I learned my lesson. You know, I think that one of the worst things that we should all be doing as managers, it doesn't matter if it's sales or any other position, we can't rush to hire people. We have to check, and 1 hour interview is not enough to check somebody to be in such position. And if I would actually go and hire the CRO under me, he would actually need to show me that he can actually deliver or put his money where his mouth is. Okay, that's something that I really want and look at people.
But how would you, again, let's, because you know we have an audience that will think, okay, that's a great point, but how would you go about doing that?
Well, I think, you know, it's first of all, you know, it's the hiring process, you know, the interview process, the due diligence process that you're doing behind it, the reference that you're going to review. You know, by the end of the day, you can hide 1, 2 red flag, which is okay, but you can't hide all of the red flag, you know. So if too many red flags are coming up to you guys, well, don't hire this person, you know, he's not apparently the right person for the role.
Okay.
Well, one of the red flags that I always looked for, especially when I either working for different executives or I didn't hire much in my career, to be honest, but it's the lack of caring for other people. Right?
I mean,
like if you are just solely, yes, we are in sales, we are in revenue, we do have numbers to hit, revenue to generate. But if you're not taking care of your people, that's just a major red flag for me. And this is one of the things that I saw from David week 1 when he and I talked, is that he cares deeply about the people he leads. And you can feel, but come on, it's true. And I'm not saying this lightly, right?
I'm going to turn off the camera, Mario. Come on.
You're blushing.
I'm not blushing as easily, but come on, you can't say good thing in front of me.
But the credit is what credit is due, man. I mean,
thank you. I appreciate that.
I've and look, for me, this is, since we're talking about red flags, this is number 1 red flag for me, for any executive, for anyone having a team, is that you're not taking care of, you don't care about your people.
So let me help you. Let me help you, Mario. I think that the label that you're looking for, both of you, is emotional intelligence. If you don't have emotional intelligence, it's really
100%.
tough to be a good CRO, I think. And you know what? I've been working with CRO and CBOs in my career that couldn't care less about people and just looking at numbers. I've been in companies where I've seen CRO flying quarter after quarter after quarter.
Actually, I would add, as an ex-recruiter, the 2 things that would always concern me, generally, not just in sales, but overall, is that I wouldn't trust someone that's just worked in the same company for a very, very long period of time. because generally they are gonna
Oh.
be like, no, I've
Opening
seen this.
Pandora's box here, buddy.
I've seen this
Can I
so
disagree
often.
on this one? Because I've been working in the same company for 15 years,
Mhm.
but I had 7 different positions in this company itself.
Honestly, I
the
still
reason that I
wouldn't
left,
prioritize you. I still wouldn't prioritize you. Or there's someone that worked in 3 different companies because they've seen
oh,
different situations all the time. You
but
haven't.
I've seen different situations all the time because I moved from
In,
job.
in the same company. Look, I done 9 years in the same company, and I'm the first one to admit that my experience is not as well rounded of people that tried 3 different companies in 9 years. So this would be my first. This is from the pure experience. If I had to look for versatility, and then again, David, maybe you're an exceptional candidate, right? And there was a very good reason for it. It's possible, but usually the first thing that
He's a great candidate.
and this is how Mario gets
Mario,
hired.
I'll pay you after that. Okay. Remind me your bank account. I forgot.
I'll send you my PayPal.
Yeah.
But
But
to
this is how Mario gets hired. You see, like adulation. He knows all the tricks in the book.
Come on, man.
Listen, Giulio, I really want to disagree with you on this one. I've been lucky enough to work in a multi-international company that had offices and distribution units all around the world. And I've been lucky enough to work with over 50 different industry segments in the world and with the highest companies in the world. I don't think that there is many companies like that. And that was one of the main reasons why I
David,
stayed there for so many years.
And that's literally you kind of killed your point there and there.
No, wait.
Yes, you just did.
Wait for it.
Go on.
You know why I left? Not because I disliked the company, not because I disliked the product, not because I disliked anything. I loved everything. I was so sad actually to leave the industry. I wanted to stay in the industry. But I reached to the point that if I wanted to advance my career, I was stuck. I knew that. I knew that for 5 or 6 years over there, but I loved what I was doing. I loved it.
But why would you? So this is my point here, Giulio. Why would you disqualify a candidate if he has?
I didn't say disqualify. I said red flag. 2 different things.
You would well.
Well, that's the same.
Come
on, Giulio. That's
exactly
the same.
No, it's not. Absolutely. It's absolutely
maybe for you because you are smart and you know how to look beyond. But most recruiters are, as we say in Germany, scheiße.
Right? I mean, look.
I've been disqualified for being my last 2 previous engagement, only like 1 year or a year and a half.
But
I've been disqualified because I stayed for 5 years in one company.
That's my second red flag is when they change job too much. That's the 2 polarity. That's the 2 polarity.
Giulio, what is the right length of time to be in a company? Can you give it to me?
It's not about mark my calendar there.
No, I just need to.
No, it's not about the right length. But even you said it right. There are not many companies offer what you offer. So on average, and this is talking to hundreds of different candidates, when someone has stayed 15, 20 years in the same company, it's not because they had the most adventurous career ever. Is usually because they're scared of change. That's not number one reason.
They love what they do, man.
Well, you can do that in many. Look, people get bored, Mario. Let's be honest. That's the number one thing.
Can I give you an example?
You know what, Giulio? I'm challenging you. Spend 1 week with me. 1 week.
But David, this is the point. This is not about you, and this is not about Mario. This is about the average. If I had to, we're talking about what I'm gonna look as potential red flags. There'll be a guy that's got great emotional intelligence and he's still an idiot, and then it doesn't mean that the green flag is gonna outweigh that.
Well, I'm sorry. I like to look at more than a piece of paper called CV and to
look at
personality in front of me. You know what? All those AIs that are today reading the CVs. And if you don't have the right buzzword, people are putting buzzword in their CV to be in front of a recruiter.
Giulio, David is a people's guy. Yeah. He's very, very people's guy.
And yet I'm getting the feeling from both of you that as long as the criticism is personal, you're actually losing your cool entirely. You'd be like, no. This is not. You're attacking me personally. But
No,
perhaps
you're not
I'm wrong.
No,
connecting.
all in good fun. All in good fun. All in good fun. All in good fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
So yeah,
anyway,
go ahead, Julian. Go
no,
ahead.
no, like my point is like when I'm making an assessment about skills, right? You want to look at several data points, and one of them would be the references, etc. Then obviously you'll try to make your decision based on other things that you have available. And this is the speech they went with Mario several times, and we're assuming recruiters have got thousands and thousands of hours to talk to every single candidate that applies, as if you would be assuming that you don't have an ICP list. And then I could say, well, okay, usually a company that's less than 200 people might not be your ICP. And then you can get pissed off and be like, oh, well, okay, but there will be that one. Well, so what? So you talk to 500 of them to find out the 5 that are worth it, or you go with what's statistically more accurate? And that's what we're trying to do here, looking at good, great, and potential red flags. And that's my simple mathematical opinion, basically.
Yeah.
I kind of agree with your opinion, and I would even, remove the trait and the average. I would go only for the great, but I will spare the time of reading with my own eyes the CV to make a phone call to the guy that I think that can be a great candidate and make my own assessment rather than using an AI or using a tool that will actually.
But who's talking about AI here?
I don't know. I know that today for recruitment, the tools that are being used are mostly digital. Come on, how many tools do you have today to read CV?
So let me just quickly jump in. So I don't know.
This is not accurate at all. Sorry, it's completely not accurate.
So wait. Both of you shut the fuck up. So what did a difference in an opinion, right? So Julio, more of a data/math guy that loves to look at the numbers, loves to make assessment there. And David from the other side of the spectrum, where he wants to feel the person out. He wants to feel the personality, the character of the person. And then once he's satisfied, and David, just to correct me if I'm wrong, but this is the impression that I have of you, and I think I am correct in this. And then he will go into skills assessment only when he's satisfied about the person's character, because for him, better to work with a person who is compatible and the skills can actually be leveled up.
And this is exactly why sales directors suck at hiring, because they'll go to talent acquisition and say, I just want someone with a great personality. And talent acquisition is like, how the hell am I going to find that?
But you see, this is because you don't know salespeople. But if you knew salespeople, when we say that we want a great talent, what a great talent means, that's the first question that as a recruiter you need to ask. It means strategic thinking. It means someone that can be data-driven, someone that can manage complex sales cycle, that can actually understand marketing, that can have data analysis, that can have leadership, that can have great skill of communication. You want me to continue? Right. The list is very long.
And how you're going to find this from a CV or LinkedIn exactly?
I'm going to call the guy.
He's going to call the guy.
Right. And so your talent acquisition is meant to call every salesperson on the planet Earth to find out these skills?
I actually do that. So when I hired...
Mario, give it to me. Nah, shut up. You shut up, both of you. I just hired a channel sales director guy, okay? I went over 60 CVs that I received, if not more, okay? I had 2 interviews. I had only 2 candidates that was worth my time to spend time with them. And you know what? I had to choose between great and super great.
But so you excluded 58 people based on their CV?
No, I spoke with a few of them. I maybe spoke with 10 of them, okay? There was like
so you excluded 50 based on their CV?
Listen, I had about 50 CVs that were completely not related in terms of experience and what I was looking for, okay?
Okay.
You make yourself a job posting, so you understand what you're looking for. You have a role and responsibilities. You understand what you're looking for. You understand the skills that you're looking for. You understand the experience that you're looking for. Now I have a guy, I'm asking for 3 years experience. I'm getting a guy that I've been 6 months channel manager.
Or you get the one with 10 years.
Yeah, and then you know, I
That's
look at
Mario.
this guy
That's
and you
Mario
That's me.
applying for
That's
jobs.
me. That's
Exactly.
me. That's me.
okay, then you get actually to the fact that you speak with a few of them. Well, some of them were actually great on the phone, but you understand that personality is not going to work with, or character is not going to work with, emotional intelligence is not going to work with, strategic thinking is not going to work with. Oh, this guy is coming from an organization of 500,000 people that are doing everything, and he's a small peon inside of the organization. I'm a tiny organization. I have limited resources. I need someone that is super versatile. So you need to understand what you need. Once you have defined what you need, you start actually, peeling down the onion. And I got two great candidates by then. I was able to actually put two great candidates in front of me. You know what? I said to my CEO when we interviewed both of them, I said, I don't know what to choose.
But that's a good place to be.
That's a good problem to have.
Yeah, that's a great problem.
I had a great problem. And by the way, both of them were completely different one from another.
That's not
Okay,
surprising.
so guys, we are close to quarter two.
We got sidetracked.
We always get sidetracked. Come on. This is the MO of our podcast. We put a topic and then we end up over there.
Talking about something else entirely. Yeah.
Time management.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
so
don't think that's our best skills.
not our best skills. Okay, so David, maybe a little bit of closing remarks, and then just on the topic, good, bad, and great, let's say, traits of a CRO. Then Julie and I will wrap up, and we will give you like 30 seconds to do a little bit of promo if you want.
It's pleasure. Well, I think that at least what worked for me, okay, is spending time with your team. You need to spend time.
Yeah.
And my motto is work hard but play harder. And we're having fun, trust me.
Yeah.
But it's not only about the fun, it's about the engagement with the team. So I strong believer about sales enablement. Care enough to explain what is your go-to-market strategy. Are you going to implement it? What is the methodology that you want to use and why you're using it? Putting a methodology over there or process is not enough. You have to explain the why. What's in it for them, okay? For them to actually adhere, engage to this methodology, to this way of work. I don't know if you are a MedPick guy, SOS guy, or whatever you are. Choose whatever you want and be adaptable, okay?
Yep.
Listen to your team
Yep.
member.
Yep.
And get feedback. I'm always actually, I'm every meeting with my team, I'm telling them, if you guys think that I'm doing and I'm going the wrong direction, tell me. I don't have the only source of truth.
Yeah, Julia.
But it's not a democracy, it's a dictatorship. By the end of the day, I will make the call.
Well, that's why you are on the top. You need to make the call, but you do need to listen to your team. Julia?
I mean, as usual, I agree with what has been said regarding the specifically emotional intelligence and interacting with the team often. I think that's actually what most leaders don't do. Just they hide behind doors and then they just like direct from the crystal or the crystal palace, and then they wonder why things go to shit. So yeah, I think that's the main logic, and obviously good use of people, but also good use of data. So generally, if you can make your decision statistically backed, you stand in a better position anyway.
For me, I just have two super short things. One is achieving alignment with different silos, different departments, kind of getting them to work together. That's number one. And then number two is we've touched on this, and I'm really passionate about this, is actually taking care of your people. Right? So those would be my 2 cents. David, want to do a 30-second promo of something at the end of the call? Want to promote something? Are you maybe hiring
your
someone
company or
your company?
At this one of them, I'm not hiring anyone, but I will be looking for a customer success somewhere in Q4. So guys, if you're interested, want to be part of the dream team that I'm leading, then feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn.
Yes, we will put in David's LinkedIn in the description of the.
And the second part is that if you are in the look for an amazing database that can revolutionize the way that your application interact with people, if you're looking for something that is user-friendly, efficient, and highly performing, then again, contact me via LinkedIn. We'll discuss.
Cool. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for sticking so far with us. David, thank you so much for joining us today on the podcast. And everyone, we will see you next week.
Thank
See
you,
you
guys.
later.
Bye.
Ciao, ciao. Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.